What's going on, y'all? It's Nick here with F.O.F, Financial Coaching LLC, and I'm here today to talk about what else? Money. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. I know I'm enjoying mine. Now, you know me as your financial coach. I want to see you do well with your money. I want to see you transcend with your money. And I also want you to be the best steward that you can be with the money that God has entrusted you with, all right? So now for your Financial Friday, and I know you guys already know what it is. So I've been blessed with the opportunity to teach some biblical finance courses in my Sunday school class. We've been having a good time thus far. So I taught a lesson on giving, okay? And so part one of that you can catch on my website at www.foffcoaching.com. Hope you enjoy that. This right here is part two. And what we're going to get into is we're really starting right where we left off. So right where part one ends, part two will pick up. And so we're getting into how tithing, which is a form of giving, should be tied to our heart, okay? It's really looking at the condition of our heart. It's not about just giving, but I think God wants a little bit more than that. So you guys check this out as you look at the lesson, all right? Hope you enjoy it. We're going to get into that much greater detail. And a perfect segue to that is the 2 Corinthians 9, 5 through 8. And so you guys are going to see a small, I don't know if you'll notice it, but it's going to be a small shift in this principle of giving. Okay, so somebody will read the 2 Corinthians 9, 5 through 8. All right, thank you. And so my question I have here is, what is the difference between giving grudgingly and giving cheerfully? What is the difference?
For me, it's
Go ahead.
like giving, but then like, oh man, I wish I would, didn't do it because I gotta still pay for this, I gotta still do this, I gotta, pay whatever bill, whatever. But instead of thinking, God, I'm giving this to you because you gave it to me. I thank you for what you've given me, and I want to show my thanks by giving this back.
Mm-hmm.
And even like today, I was just looking, and I was like, oh, I don't think we gave enough, and so just give a little more. And then we have a conversation like, oh no, we did this for a certain reason. It's like, oh well, thank God we're still able to give it. Like just thanking Him for every step that we're taking forward.
Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Along the lines of both you all are saying, I think it's a heart condition.
Mm-hmm.
And to use, like you just said, us as an example, we got paid. I always give 10%. Sometimes we give much more. But she didn't know what I got paid, so she said, let me give this much. I want to at least make sure we cover it. So she gave a whole lot more. But for me, it's no big deal because I know where my source is, and I'm like that because of life situations, life challenges, the things He put me through, the understanding now that I have over who God is and how powerful He is and how holy He is. And the more you realize that, the more He conditions your heart to be towards Him, to be like His, then really you can easily let go of material things,
But that could be difficult. So you was here this morning and you heard the sermon this morning about the rich young ruler. You see, it was a difficult thing for him. For you, it might be an easy thing, which is a good thing, right? But for the rich young ruler, he was just like, look, I did everything I need to do. So Jesus was like, all right, well, I need you to give your possessions, give those to the poor, come follow me. He was like, whoa, my stuff, my money. Well, hold on now. Now you asking for a little bit too much. Yeah. And so for some of us, I feel like we do struggle with that. Sometimes it can be difficult to say it because it can be intimidating sometimes to talk about our struggles with each other, but there are things that we should be able to talk to with one another. We should be able to try and help one another through those things. Instead of telling somebody this is what you're supposed to do, it's one thing to do that. It's another thing to really love somebody and walk them through some things as well. So,
and
go ahead.
That scripture, right before
it said Jesus loved him. There you go.
Jesus loving him.
Right.
Told him, give all that you have.
Right. And so that goes, just a quick segue to my next question is it our duty or obligation to give? And then after that, I'm asking, or is God looking for more? Go ahead.
Just financially or just?
I'm talking about strictly financially. I don't want to even like try to act like I'm not. I'm talking strictly financially. You say yeah? You think it's our duty, obligation? Anybody else feel any different?
It's all the above, and it's also, again, he's talking again about a heart condition as well, because again, you're given, this commandment where it's talking about, tithing or anything of that nature, or anything, it's about do this, but because it's required of you, but also at the same time, you do it not because grudgingly, because, oh, well, I gotta do it, versus the heart condition of, man, I love the Lord, or I've been given so much. A tenth, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
Or in a gladful way, because again, it's you ask the question, what is the difference between grudgingly or happily, and that can be the heart condition, can be the thing. Because some people feel, I am obligated of the church, it's 10, and then and they just doing it strictly because, man, I gotta do it. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Whereas some will give, man, that's just for the love of God, and that 10th gives them a parameter of where to be at, because and of that nature.
So, I think you've explained it well, but I don't know if you really answered the question. Like the question was, is it a duty or obligation to give? Do you feel like it's a duty or obligation to give, or is God looking for more?
I think it's in our benefit to give.
Okay.
And appreciation.
Okay.
Than is a requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
I think it's a duty going back to Leviticus 7:30. Well, just because of, how do I want to say this? Because the reason why they were giving their tithes was that the Levites would, have, they would, get eating everything.
Right.
They would be able to focus on the spiritual matters. And so if we think about it as of now, it is our duty to give because we want our spiritual leaders to focus on those spiritual matters and not necessarily the physical, like whether or not they're going to eat, whether or not they're going to be able to make it to church, they got the car's not working, anything like that. We have to think about that stuff also. And I think that's kind of one of those like taboo things we're talking about.
Yep.
Everybody always say we're giving, and then the pastor is getting money, and they're just trying to get rich. But when you really think about it, they're really supposed to be focused on your spiritual well-being. And if they're worried about their next meal or how they're going to support their families or whatever, then they can't focus on your spiritual well-being. And I think that it kind of all, God made it a way so that it all ties in together, that we will have that shepherd over us. And so,
That's how it's designed.
yeah.
Isn't it just setting a good example though? I mean, that's kind of what he did, so that's what we should do in order to kind of
You said what?
show our God. It's not to like
No, go ahead.
track your margin, but like, it just sets it's setting a good example. It's what Jesus and God gave us. Jesus came and gave us wise counsel in the Bible. He gave. So for us to give is ultimately, I think, us showing our God, or showing a reflection of God. So not to like overcomplicate it, but that's why he would call. That's why we would be obligated to do it, because if we're going to be Christ-like, then giving is a Christ-like trait that you want to exhibit.
Okay.
I was going to say this here. All of our first experience with God, if we have any relationship with God that's real, is that we met God as a giver. And that is, we're created to be in His image. And giving is the very nature of God. And when and no one says this from the pulpit because we don't want to offend, but I say it from if you have a problem, any problem with giving, It is because you have not come into the full realization of who you are in Christ. No one can really know Christ the way he really is and not give. The outward expression is that God so loved the world, he gave. That's how love is expressed through giving. The idea that you can love God and not give needs to be spoken of as a sin and not as a choice. It's not a choice not to tithe. Nick brought out some really great here. In Genesis, before the law was given, under human government, and the age of innocence, giving was what it was. Abraham, if you look at Adam and Eve, they had 2 boys.
Well, no, don't, because I'm gonna talk about that. So don't steal that. Don't take that from me. That's all I got. That's all I got. Don't take it from me. That's the whole rest of the lesson. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. But I know you're going. I know you're going.
The very nature. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So
I was literally gonna say something. He said it way better than what I raised my hand. You raised yours. I put mine back down.
So I think go ahead, Rainey. Go ahead, Rainey. Go ahead.
But on that note, if we're currently today,
Yes.
giving 2.5%,
Yes.
God is still blessing the Christians.
Yes.
So,
Okay. So I'm so happy.
and they're still getting blessed.
I'm so happy. Go ahead.
We read all the way through Corinthians. Matthew 23:23. Jesus just said, these you ought to have done without leaving the others undone.
But with that specifically,
you still have a directive to give.
Right. But remember, those people are still under the law. Right? As Jesus said, those people are still under the law.
That's true.
So that's why we got to remind ourselves always. And this is my next question. Can this duty become legalism? See, can this become legal? We have to be very careful of this. Go ahead, Ms. Martin.
Yes, this duty can become legal.
Yes.
And when I think in terms of what the international lesson is for today,
Mm-hmm.
and the awesomeness in the communion, when I think in terms of God loving me that much, that when I go to take communion today,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, y'all don't understand how grateful I am that he found me, that he chose to save me, that he delivered me. What else can I do?
Mm-hmm.
How much can I give to you to show you that I love you?
Exactly.
And so therefore it becomes legal to me because he has covered me in the law with his blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to give to you because you done covered all my legal aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So when God looks at me, he looks at me through Jesus. So
And-
but what do I keep from you? Nothing.
So,
When you say legally,
so what legalism is, this is like exact definition. So I have it down there if you want to write it down. I Googled it, so you know. Just, you know, just a little razzle dazzle, you know what I'm saying? So it's excessive adherence to law or formula. Okay? Excessive adherence to law or formula. And so when I say, this is why in Matthew 23, Jesus had to say what he had to say. This is what happens when you might be upset about giving. You might be like, oh, I don't think this is going to do nothing, and you're going to give. Your heart might be who knows where and going to give. The problem with legalism is, what happens is people like, you don't give your 10%. You don't give your 10%. They make a big deal about this. What happens if God is saying, I want you to give 20 this month? But you like, no. I'm following what you said in your word. It's 10%. So what that does is that starts to break away from that relationship when the whole giving aspect of it is for us to increase our relationship. It's for us to understand who he is and who we are. And so Ms. Martin brought up communion. One thing that, this is probably recently, so I can't say all people. I'm talking about myself. I can't talk about y'all. But recently when I started taking communion, I started to really understand, like somebody told me one time, they was like, oh yeah, there's power in communion. And then I thought to myself, like, you know something? I'm a literal person, so I had to think about it. I said, it's not power in the communion, but it's power in what the communion represents. The reason why we're doing this communion thing is so I can be reminded, as I need to be every single day, what Jesus did for me on the cross. right? So the time when it be like, okay, this time for tithe and offering, and then, you know, you go up, you hit that little real quick prayer and da-da-da. But that's really a time to reflect, to really think about what God has done, to really think about, okay, if I'm going to give something, you know, how great is this to be able to give? Lord, what is you want from me? What do you want me to give? Not just coming in to the point of, let me just, boom, 10, I'm good. 10, I'm good. 10%, I'm good. Or whatever it is. Or whatever I can do, I'm just going to do that. Or here go my leftovers. I'm just going to throw this at you. We're missing the whole aspect of a relationship with God. And sometimes when people are teaching or they're preaching, it can be hard to convey that message. That's why it's important for us to go in and to read the word and to look at it, because everything, we have to remember that it's about the relationship with Christ. It's such an important aspect. So it doesn't even matter if you gave 10% your whole life. Your whole life. You could have been giving that 10%. You might as well just throw it in a dark cloud or something, because you missed the point. And that's what was happening in Matthew 23. They were missing the point. So that's why in Corinthians, when he said, be a cheerful giver, give with your heart, wrestle with God. I'm telling y'all my life and stuff. Look. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. I hope that something was said that kind of makes you start to rethink and think about tithing, think about offering, think about giving, and think about the importance of what it is for your relationship with God, okay? If you don't have a relationship with God, then obviously I hope that you would get one, but I still think that giving is a very, very fundamental principle in being successful with your personal finances, okay? Because you all work way too hard, way too hard to be scrounging, to be not making it because you're not being generous, because you don't know how to allow something to go so that you can get something back, okay? So listen, I want you guys to choose faith over fear for your finances. And of course, happy Friday!